Hey, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? My name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That's right. This is episode 3 of the Nightly Morning Show, coming at you live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Well done.
I've never lived in Ontario before. This is all new for me. What's up? We have Mel the Bard,
Hi,
Hero
everybody.
of Wind, Shiny Umbreon Mancer. I saw Rand and Kate's Robinson Hatton. Thank you. So, I hate change. We wanted to switch today because this is the better
lighting
lit
is
spot.
is better on this side.
And she's pretty and fun to look at. And I say smart things. That's our dynamic.
Yeah, that's what I like to tell him.
Y'all, we were about to go live to talk about the Apple event from yesterday. And I opened the computer, and of course, immediately the first thing I see is we have a new trailer for the Monster Hunter movie.
Yep.
Coming out in December. I say with air quotes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So we're gonna watch that to start. No feet on the table. No feet on the table. I didn't put feet on the table today. I put them on the couch. Hero of Wind. It's my house. I'll do what I want. All right, so we're going to start the day off by watching this trailer. We're going to talk about it, and then we are going to get to that. How do I get over to... All right, there. Let's plug in.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the desktop audio down just a little bit to start, just in case it's like crazy
Screaming loud. Good call.
It goes that way. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's so weird to move.
I know. When did the trailer come out? It came out 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, it literally just dropped. So we're going to watch it with you guys.
We have not seen any of this.
No.
And I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, so let's do it. That seems like that's a bit loud.
No, I think that's all right.
All right.
Well, this looks familiar.
It's almost like this was in a teaser last week.
Any idea what those markers are?
They look pretty ancient. The tracks end here. Definitely Bravo team.
They don't just disappear.
Jesus.
Where the hell are we?
That lightning, it hit those markers and it took us somewhere.
Guys!
So what?
Go on.
Are we like Guardians of the Galaxy now?
On our 6!
Are we Guardians of the Galaxy now?
No.
Didn't like that line.
Holy shit.
Did you see that thing? Fall back!
Jesus.
This is officially above my pay grade.
I don't care
Fair enough.
What those creatures are. We destroy them and close the gateway.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting us all home.
The bigger they are, the harder to kill. It's a good tagline.
Dual blades! That's my weapon right there, folks. Okay, we got some Rathalos. We got some Diablos.
I thought it was a dragon.
Yeah, then there are many dragons. That one's a Rathalos.
Gotcha. Huh.
Oh no, they spoiled the end of the movie.
The end of the movie?
Yeah, I hate when they do that. All right, let's turn this off and let's talk about that Monster Hunter trailer.
Hang on, make sure nothing starts playing next.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, that was interesting.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like anyone who's ever
Call
played...
of Duty meets Monster Hunter.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think anyone who's ever played a Monster Hunter game will be a little confused by what they just saw. Just for some context, Monster Hunter is one of my favorite video game franchises. I've played more Monster Hunter than any other game franchise, just because in high school, what I did with my friends was...
Pokemon.
No, Monster Hunter.
No, I know.
I know. But like, you know, we would literally on the PS, we had the Monster Hunter 4 Unite, I think, was the one that we put so much time into. And we would play it literally all day, every day when we should have been at school. And we're not. We were at the Edo Japan in West Hills. Thank you for that posture check, King Brent.
Miller says they would run out of ammo almost immediately.
Yeah, that's true. I think that if I'm sparsing out the trailer as we saw it, I think they get there. Their weapons don't work on the monsters, and so they have to use Monster Hunter weapons.
Well, I would hope so. I would kind of be disappointed if they got there and they just shot at everything.
I just feel like it's weird that they took Monster Hunter and made it, and like took the plot from Pacific Rim and put it on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's...
There's monsters coming through a portal, and we have to close the portal to stop the giant monsters coming through.
Yeah, Ryan says, I feel like they blew the budget on graphics and couldn't afford a good screenwriter.
I mean, I don't know if the screenwriting's bad.
We'll have to see.
I think
That's to be determined.
It was an interesting choice to make the entire trailer just quips from the movie.
Yeah.
Like... They were like, anytime anyone says something funny in our movie, that's going to be in the trailer.
You gotta throw that in.
And we're not going to introduce any of the characters. Because Tony Jaa shows up, and Tony Jaa's character is ostensibly the person who's already in the Monster Hunter world, based on my understanding. And, like, we saw him use a bow and arrow, but we didn't get him saying any lines. Usually when you have a trailer like this, the Tony Jaa character goes, this is what's going on for the audience. And he didn't speak as... maybe he did, and I missed it, but he didn't speak in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm perplexed.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not as excited as I want to be about it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Hero of Wind says, I just think it would be a better movie set in the Monster Hunter universe, lore and all. Why add modern military?
I don't know. I'm kind of confused at that choice.
I'm very confused at that choice because now it's not a Monster Hunter movie. You know what I mean? Like it's another military fighting giant creatures movie that uses the images of Monster Hunter. Yeah,
which is what Sen was saying, that like that's the trend, is to militarize it or go fantasy but forget the lore. Yeah, and I feel like what's nice about the Monster Hunter universe is that in the in-world lore of Monster Hunter is that there is a symbiotic relationship between all the monsters that makes it a functioning world, and like the Rathalos isn't just this like murder machine. It is a animal that lives in the wild and is dangerous when it gets near civilization. Yeah, but it's part of an ecosystem and it has a function. Yeah, and this was like everything was scary. There weren't any of the less scary creatures of the Monster Hunter universe in the trailer, and I'm just it looks very good. I think the CGI looks great. Yeah, it was also like all in a desert. Is that... Yeah, the desert is probably the first chunk of the movie and the last chunk of the movie, and then they'll probably go to the forests and jungles and things in the middle, I assume. Just as long as there's none of the underwater Monster Hunter fights. There's nothing worse than an underwater monster fight. If you say so, I would not know. They put out a Monster Hunter game for I think it was either the Wii or the Wii U, and it was like, because we have the motion controls of the Wii, we're going to design the main enemy of the game, like the big bad, because every Monster Hunter game has a new big bad, is going to be an underwater monster, and it was a nightmare. Yeah, fighting that thing was so annoying. Yeah, that sounds awful. Ooh, Lazy Smicky asking the good questions. What if a mermaid and siren fought underwater? I mean, aren't they like basically the same thing? I mean, that, like it depends on what lore. Yeah, it depends on the lore, I guess. I think Lazy that a mermaid could mess up a Starbucks if they were underwater is going to be my answer. Starbucks. I forgot that was their logo. Yeah, it's the siren. It's calling you into the Starbucks. Yeah. Not a sponsor. Not yet. So, what were the positives of the trailer to you? Well, it doesn't... It's probably not a boring movie.
Hopefully.
It looks very action-packed. It looks pretty. Like, the effects look really good. The creatures look pretty good. You know, I'm watching it on a very small screen, and obviously this is the trailer, but it, you switched, how dare you. I'm sorry, Jad.
I love how upset everyone is that we're sitting on different sides of the couch today.
I know, this is only episode 3.
I know, we'll never do this again. I will be on that side, she'll be on this side, we'll never switch again. We're so sorry.
This is my good side.
Well, then I'll stay here. We will come up with a situation where we never
we'll just
change.
switch every day.
Ever again. Oh my god, people would lose their minds. Trade sides now. No, Shiny, we shall not.
Yeah, those are the good things that I can think of, is that it looks like the like graphics budget was pretty high and that they made use of it.
I will say Mia Jovovich is in some movies that I would call guilty pleasure movies. This kind of looks like it might be one of those. I think that this might be a movie that like I enjoy watching when I have had a couple of beers and it's like late night and I'm like, I just want something, I want some dumb fun to put on. Yeah. And
I've never seen a movie with her in it before.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. That's wild. So you've never... I can't remember if she's in the Resident Evil movies or if she's in the Underworld movies.
I have not seen either of those.
No, she's in the Resident Evil movies. I always... This is so embarrassing, but I always confuse the leads of the Resident Evil movies and the Underworld movies. I don't know why. I can never remember which one's which. Mello the Bard says, gonna call it, there will be a from behind implied nude shot while she changes into the monster armor.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how these movies go.
Yeah, have you seen a Resident Evil movie? I love the Resident Evil movies. I know they're not good movies. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I've never gone into one and been like, wow, Oscars. Like, just throw Oscars at these people. They deserve it.
So I'm just showing off my mug to Brayden, who recognized the
yes,
the Young Canadians mug.
Yes, we were young Canadians and now we're old and falling apart.
I wouldn't call myself old, but that's fine.
I mean, you wouldn't call yourself old. The trailer, though, here's the thing, y'all. I just want movies to come out in theaters. I don't care at this point.
That's the thing. I'm like, even if it's bad, like we didn't enjoy Tenet or New Mutants, but we were just happy to go see new movies.
It's so true.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we just need something.
We just want movies to come out in theaters. And if this can actually come out in December, I'll be a happy boy.
Yep, absolutely.
Because it looks fun. It doesn't look like the Monster Hunter movie I wanted, and it doesn't. It won't be the Monster Hunter movie I wanted because there's military people in it with guns, and that's just not what I want. I'm sorry. The only gun I want in Monster Hunter is a bow gun, and honestly, I don't need it. If you're a bow gun player in Monster Hunter, get out of the party. You're the worst.
I think I played Monster Hunter World for like 5 minutes, but I don't even know what I used.
Jad AR asks, have we seen the trailer for Love and Monsters? We've not, Jad. No. We're going to watch that on Friday. And then we're going to watch the movie Friday night and talk about it at another point. This is a movie I found out yesterday comes out on Friday on VOD.
Oh.
And so we're going to watch the trailer on Friday to see if we should... Or no, maybe we'll watch it tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll try and see if people should... go watch that. We'll give our recommendations when we watch the trailer on tomorrow's show. Mm-hmm. The heavy Miller says the heavy bowgun was a blast in the 3DS games. You're a liar. The bowgun is trash. Pick up a sword. Pick up a lance. Come get in the fight with us. Don't just hide in the corner very slowly doing literally no damage. You're not helping anyone. And if you use those blow-up bullets, all of this content is just for people who have played a lot of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
But the bomb ammo is annoying to anyone who's up close to the monster because you just get knocked down all of the frickin' time, and I can't get my combo in, so you're trash. Get out of the party. I'm so sorry.
David's not salty at all.
Grabs a sword and lands and joins the fight. Thank you, Shiny. Thank you.
True, Shiny. Rhiannon's asking if it's on Netflix.
Is it Netflix? No, it's going to be VOD, so it is going to be a paid rental because it is a new movie. But I saw some reviews this morning. Love and Monsters looks like it's getting some pretty good reviews as far as a coming-of-age story. And I'm excited to watch it.
Do you know what it's about? Because I actually don't know this movie at all.
Well, so Love and Monsters is a story of world in which there was a monster uprising from under the ground. So it's essentially the plot if Kong Skull Island happened, but Kong wasn't there to stop it.
Okay.
And so there's monsters everywhere on Earth.
Okay.
And this boy and this girl who are in love get separated, running away from them, and they end up in different colonies, and they find each other on the radio one day because all that's left of humanity has gone underground. And the boy decides to travel across the open air monster world to go meet his girlfriend in her colony.
Okay.
So it has a little bit of that, like, we're going to put the female lead in a place where she doesn't have to do anything the whole movie, which, not my favorite. But I'm hoping there'll be a twist on that.
Yeah.
But it's a coming-of-age story about a boy. He meets a dog, and he meets Norman Reedus. Yondu from Guardians, and Merle from The Walking Dead? Merle?
No, Daryl.
No, Daryl's...
Crossbow?
No, oh, not Norman Reedus. Merle.
Oh.
What's his name? Who's Yondu? Oh my god.
Oh, him.
Mickey Rooney.
Okay,
No,
I'm
his
like
name's not
really
Mickey
bad.
Rooney.
I'm bad with names.
Yeah, middle of the bar it says Reign of Fire, but a touching story. Yeah, it's Reign of Fire if Reign of Fire was a coming-of-age story.
Okay.
So we're gonna watch that trailer tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
on
I know
this
exactly who you're
show.
talking about, but I'm
Yeah.
I can't remember
His
that.
name starts with an M, but I can't remember. Also, Lazy said that I'm looking more and more like Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith.
I noticed that.
And I do appreciate that. I'm going to grow my hair out and like maybe I'll go as maybe I'll go as Obi-Wan for Halloween.
That's not a bad idea.
That'd be fun.
You can go as Obi-Wan and I'll be Satine.
Satine. Oh, that would be fun. My little Mandalorian wife. Cappy Archer says, "Who the hell would do that? I just settle for a long distance relationship." And Cappy, to that I say, but sex.
I mean, yeah, when you're
Michael Rooker, thank you so much. Dark Dispatch.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Sandra.
This is why we should record with a chat. Because they can answer all the questions.
They can
that you
Google
and I
the
cannot.
things.
Oh, and Mel the Bard coming in saying Michael Rooker. Yeah, Michael Rooker is in the movie as well. And I'm excited. We'll watch that tomorrow, and then we're probably going to watch that Friday night.
That would be fun. We'll have a little movie night.
Yeah, because it's a new movie, guys. New
movie.
movies.
Yeah. And we've got... I get to see a lot of new movies this weekend.
Oh, right. If you are one of our patrons, we're going to throw in a quick plug here for the Patreon. I know I saw Dagon, the Broken Pirates, thrown in the chat. If you are one of our patrons, we are watching Solo. We're doing a watch-along on Saturday night with you all. That's going to be very fun. Claris has never seen Solo, a Star Wars story, and I am... I love the movie. So we are going to be watching that just with the patrons. Honestly, this show, everything we do at the Nerdy Nightly is made possible by our patrons. And we're just so grateful to you all for supporting us in the way that you have been.
One more thing to add on to that. So the watching Solo is making up for September because we were very busy. We'll also be doing a watch along for a spooky movie at the end of the month to celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, and so if you're in the Patreon Discord, please throw out some movies that you would like to watch with us for the Halloween movie. And we will probably put a poll up on the Patreon to decide that.
Yeah.
So that movie watch along is for everyone at the $10 and above tier over on the Patreon. I think we've talked enough about the Monster Hunter trailer. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't, enthrall me, but...
Here's what I will say. The monsters look good enough that I want to see it in theaters. I don't want to watch that movie at home.
No.
The CGI is solid enough, and the monsters look enough like the game monsters that I want to see that movie in theaters. And that is to the trailer's credit.
Yep, absolutely.
The other thing we wanted to talk about today was the Apple event yesterday.
Yes.
High Speed.
We watched that in full. And it was honestly very interesting.
It was really well done. I will say the first thing I want to say about the Apple event is the production quality of it was on. Like, if we could have this show look like that show, oh man.
We'd be lucky people.
We would have to own a lot of equipment we don't have right now.
Yes.
But
oh my goodness.
It was a show, which was like entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't just kind of like boring jargon thrown around. They did make it very interesting. And, you know, as someone, I don't really have any Apple products, but, you know, it definitely made me interested in what they were doing and their technologies. I think that the Home Mini, what is it?
The Pod Mini.
Pod Mini. I think that the Pod Mini
Pod?
looks really good.
Yeah, the way they discussed how it has like dynamic 360 sound is really interesting to me.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, maybe we don't need a sound bar.
Because one of my problems with a lot of those speaker that are also smart assistant things, the Google Home and the Nest, I find a lot of time that if you're playing music on them, the sound quality isn't great. It's fine. So to have one that has great sound would be worth it. I mean, I bought a home speaker thing that didn't have a smart assistant in it for $100. So if the sound quality can be as good as that $100 speaker, but have the smart assistant inside as well, I think that the price point's actually really worth it. I know that the Google Home is cheaper, and I know that there are other cheaper options.
Yeah, but the speaker quality and sound quality is not going to be as good in those.
But it's something that I would wait until I can go into an Apple store and hear the sound quality for myself.
Absolutely.
Because I do care about that. Like, you know, I would pay more for my music to sound good.
Yeah, 100%. I would as well. And for if you're connecting it to your TV, like movies and stuff, if you're doing that, you want the good sound. And yeah, sometimes those things can be really ugly, but it was sleek. I liked it. Rebel is asking if it's true the new iPhone will come without the earbuds and charger in the box.
Yeah, that is true, and I think it's a smart move on Apple's part. Honestly, I'm at the point now where I have a bag of Apple bricks, the part that goes into the wall. They will be sent. It will come with a cord, so you will have the cord to plug in.
The charger, yeah.
It just doesn't come with the wall brick, and it doesn't come with the earbuds. But here's the thing: nobody
likes the earbuds.
Nobody likes the Apple. Like no one uses the Apple earbuds. I keep them as backups.
Yeah.
In a bag until they've been in the bag so long that they're so coiled and tangled that they don't work anymore.
Well, and I use them to stream, and I complain about them all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so
I hate these in my ears.
I think it's smart to if you're gonna ship millions of something, and you're trying to cut down on waste. Take the headphones that
take it out and
not everyone, but the majority of your users don't use.
Yeah.
And at this point, if you don't have a wall plug-in, if you don't have 90 wall plugins in your home, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah.
You know, we're at the point now where like our outlet, not extenders. What are those called? Power bricks. Our power bricks that we plug into the wall to plug multiple things in have USB connections in them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of extension cords have the like extra slots for the USB.
So I'm just we just need to advance to Bluetooth cochlear implant, says Mellow the Bard. I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, me neither.
They do have Bluetooth hearing aids. My stepdad has a Bluetooth hearing aid. Which is amazing because it functions. He can like take calls Bluetooth in his hearing aids.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool advancement for that kind of technology.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to have surgery to have technology implanted in my head yet.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
I also the thing about it is that it would have to be easily replaceable because the technology is going to be better. You know what I mean? Like
it's gonna keep getting better, and so. To like get surgery every 2 years instead of buying a new phone, you know what I mean? Like that's I don't like that at all.
I don't like that at all.
But yeah, so the iPhone is not going to come with the standard headphones. They're reducing the price to reflect and selling them separately so that the people who do like them and do want them can get them. But it's to reduce waste. So that they're, you know, the one thing that stood out to me was Apple's like environment initiatives, being carbon emission free by 2030 completely, I believe, and that includes themselves and all their manufacturers. So I think that's a really important step.
Yeah.
And I was very excited about that. And so I totally understand reducing the waste and not sending out things that a lot of people are not going to use or enjoy.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people who like have a bin of excess technologies.
Yeah.
And I think that Apple's saying, hey, look, we're not going to keep adding to your bin.
Yeah.
You know, like...
And I think that the price of the new iPhone reflects that.
It's the same price as the last one.
Is it?
Yeah, because I was confused because it's cheaper than mine, but I have the Pro. So my Pro was $999 and the Pro this year is $999.
Right.
The actual iPhone might be a little bit cheaper. I actually don't know about that.
Yeah.
But the iPhone Pro is the same, but the advancements in the Pro are so unbelievable that I can't even imagine.
So that's probably a good segue leading into
new iPhones
distinctions. So there's going to be the iPhone Mini, the iPhone, and then the Pro. So this is all the 12th generation. And honestly, even just the regular iPhone looked pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And the Pro is absolutely game changing for people in our industry who are want to be filmmakers and content creators, but can't afford thousands and thousands of dollars of external equipment for picture quality. And but
what's wild is that now you don't need that.
No, you don't. Like you if you have a phone and maybe a good mic if you need it, like you can make your own short film. You can stream. I know people who use their phone for their streaming cameras and the quality is great.
Yeah, well, and what's really wild to me about the Pro is that it does more, like, I have more expensive equipment than that is specialized. Like, I have cameras that are more expensive than the iPhone 12 Pro that are not nearly as good as it.
Yeah.
At that specialized task. Like, the iPhone 12 Pro is, if everything works the same way that they said that it would in that presentation, the device is literally going to change how we make content.
Absolutely.
And if the 5G speeds are as fast as they were talking about, like the 5G speeds that they were talking about are speeds that I get with Wi-Fi in my house. They're not quite Ethernet speeds.
Yeah.
But, and depending on what your plan is, what internet plan you have, you probably, those 5G speeds might be faster than your Wi-Fi speeds, especially in upload speeds. And it's just, if everything works the way that they're saying it does.
Yes, that's the thing.
Which Apple has not really been known to mislead in these events. They're usually pretty transparent.
Yeah.
A lot of times they talk about features that don't work because the users don't know how to use them.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah, which, you can't blame them for users not all being professional creators. It's really wild to see a jump forward in technology so quick for professionals. I'm not sure that the iPhone 12, the normal one, is that much better than its Android comparisons. But as far as pro creator devices, for filmmakers, for musicians, for people who need their phone to be a part of their professional process, the iPhone 12 is in its own league right now.
Yeah.
The iPhone 12 Pro, is in its own league. And I just don't see any of the other phone manufacturers having a comparison.
Well, I think that their big leg up is dependent on that programming that they're working on for the editing that they were talking about, which I don't remember what they were calling it now. But it's basically a way that to like edit instantly from your Apple devices.
Well, you can edit in Dolby Video on your phone, which like my MacBook Pro would struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit older, my MacBook Pro would be running at like 102 degrees Celsius to edit that. And a lot of this is going to come down to temps. I'm very curious to see what temps the iPhone 12 Pro runs at when it does these things.
Yes.
But the fact that the iPhone 12 regular can run League of Legends on 5G blows my mind.
It's wild.
That's insane. Like the fact that your phone could run a game that big and that with that much data going out in and out.
And not have, like, serious lagging problems.
And they might, honestly, like, it's really going to depend on your network in your area.
Yeah. Which the chat right now is talking about 5G, which they did address as well. They had someone from Verizon come in and say, if you're in America, Verizon has 5G all over the country.
200 cities.
200 cities, which is incredible. I actually have 5G on my Samsung S20. In Toronto.
Yeah.
We're with Bell. So they offer 5G right now. But I didn't have it in Calgary. So it's definitely dependent on where you are.
Yeah.
You know, if that 5G is kind of what you're looking for, just because the device can support it doesn't mean that you live in a place where you have access to it, which is kind of unfortunate. But they're working on putting that infrastructure everywhere.
And I'm curious to see. They talked about their 5G ultra wideband, and that might be the network that can run League of Legends. Yeah. We're not sure yet, but the ultra wideband is only available in LA, New York, I think like 4 other cities right now, and they're trying to expand that to 60 cities by the end of the year. But that you might need that ultra wideband Wi-Fi or 5G, to have those high speeds. But the fact that this phone is about to come out, if it comes out to 60 cities having it, that's probably the biggest cities. So a lot of people who have this will have that. And if that's 2020, by the end of 2021, that ultra wideband for Verizon is going to be everywhere. And if it is that much faster than AT&T's 5G, which right now it looks like it might be, based on what I've read, but I'm not a technological
We're not
genius,
experts.
So take this is just some superficial reading online. Verizon might really pull ahead in the smartphone game if they have the best 5G. Yeah. And, I was reading a tweet this morning that was like, why do countries care about 5G? And the answer is because 5G is how the future will be built. Like, that is what the future will be built on, is the infrastructure of 5G. Because it's so fast.
Yeah, it's wild. What we were talking about, you can literally, in the middle of, like, a shoot, upload images or video files.
Not yet. But they're images you could. But the direction we're headed, there was a cinematographer talking about how the idea is that you could, instead of having a memory card in your camera, you could use a 5G connection to shoot your video into the cloud. Yeah. And the people in an edit bay would be able to download the footage almost immediately.
And start editing.
On the day, which is impossible right now. Because right now what happens is the sound guy's got a memory card, the video guy's got a memory card, there's a lot of memory cards. Yeah. Someone's job at the end of the day is to drive all those memory cards to a bay, upload it, and then it costs so much edit time to put all of those things together. You have to find the audio from that take and the video from that take and put them together in the computer, smush them together. It's a huge process. Editing video, editing movies, films, it's a huge process. But if you could sync them up in person and upload them to the cloud together, already synced, the possibilities for filmmaking in 5G and the ways that it would change how we create the entertainment in the world, the amount of money we would save on so many things. Yeah. And, there's a side of that is somebody out of a job, potentially. 5G might make it so much easier that there are certain people we don't need anymore on set, which would be a shame because I don't want fewer jobs on sets. But it is, the possibilities of these speeds are truly crazy. Yeah. Muddles40 says, what you're saying, David, is that we can expect your YouTube to explode with content. I mean, we're putting up an hour on YouTube every day now, so I would say the explosion's already happened, Muddles.
That's true.
The Nightly Morning Show can also be found on YouTube and our podcast feed wherever podcasts are downloaded.
Little plug there.
Miller says a 3-hour game download in 20 minutes. That's the dream, isn't it? Yeah. Like, that's the dream. Yeah. I want that PS5 with that Ethernet plugged in so that I can play Miles Morales an hour after it comes out.
So the other thing that I noticed that they talked about a lot in the video was about security.
Yeah.
Apple is like very adamant that they have, the most secure devices, and that, your information is never being shared or anything like that with third parties. And that kind of thing. And it's very interesting because it came up several times. And I think that that's a huge concern for people right now. So it's very smart of them to push that. Because if you start hearing that over and over and you're not, and if you're one of those people that's very concerned about your data not being safe and private, then that might influence your decision, just that itself.
Well, but and here's the thing, and this might be a slightly controversial statement right now, given the online culture, but I want Epic Games to lose their lawsuit with Apple. I want them to. I pay a premium for Apple devices. I know that I pay a premium for Apple devices. I'm aware of it. And part of the premium that I pay is that I want my Apple devices to be a closed loop. Everything in them is controlled by Apple. I want all of my apps to come in knowing that they have Apple security, look into them before they come in. I don't want Apple to be forced to put, I do not want Apple to be forced to put another app store on their marketplace that is not as secure. Because I know, and the broken parts in the chat says, but what about all my celeb nude leaks? That wasn't an Apple security issue. That was a human security issue. The fappening happened because of human security problems, not an Apple one. I pay for Apple products. I know they're more expensive. I know sometimes they are more expensive because of reasons that aren't them being better, but because Apple controls every aspect of them. And I want that. Like that, as an Apple consumer, I have a reasonable amount of... I know that there's a reasonable amount of safety in their devices.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get malware as easily on my computer. I'm not going to get malware on my phone as easily. When I download an app from the App Store, the chances of it being malware or suspicious or having negligent code in it are significantly less.
Yeah.
And those are things that, as an Apple consumer, I feel very secure in. And they've done a really good job of that from the very beginning. And, they've put out new security things that I'm very grateful for and I'm paying for. I know that I'm paying for.
Yeah.
And, I think that there are a lot of people who want to see Apple opened up a little bit. And I get why they want that. I get that it would probably be better for developers.
Yeah.
But I'm in the position going, I want that incoming Apple sponsorship. You know what? Honestly,
that would be the dream.
I would be the guy.
Honestly, that would make me convert. I'd be like, all right. That's the one thing. Ryan asked me yesterday, what could they announce? Or I think it was Ryan. Somebody asked me.
I asked you.
Oh, you asked me.
On the show.
You asked me,
video.
What's the one thing that could happen that would make you convert? And I would say an Apple sponsorship.
Yeah, but it's, I don't need to be sponsored by them to say this.
I know, you don't.
I mean it. I love their products. Their products have made my life easier. And I use a MacBook every single day for my video editing and my photo editing. And part of that is that I have paid a premium for Apple devices to work the way that Apple tells me they're going to work.
Yeah.
And they always do. Like I've never had a problem with any device I've ever bought from Apple.
Yeah.
I've never had a faulty device. If I have, that's not true. I had one faulty device. Apple replaced it immediately. Like I've never had a problem with anything they've given me. And, their technical support for their phones goes years past when other companies would stop supporting old phones. Like there's a lot of reasons why that premium that you pay for an Apple product is worthwhile to me, as I almost spill my coffee all over myself. And so, I'm in the position where I look at what they're saying about security and privacy, and I see the settings in my phone that I have control over, and I see the ways that I control my data between my Apple devices, and I personally believe them. But I'm also a person who loves Apple products, and I love the ecosystem of Apple. So take that with a grain of salt. If you don't, I get it. I totally get it.
So Muddle's comment, which is what I have touched on, one of my problems with Apple, is, so Muddle says that he used to work for an electronics store, and that for the Apple products, the ergonomics were fantastic, which I have always noticed. You know, they have never let down really on that side of things. But when you take a close look at the actual specs, that he would see something that would cost 4 times less if it was put in a different brand. And that's always been my problem with Apple, is that they that you're paying that top tier price that like you said, and you know that's what you pay for, but you're paying for that top tier price for sometimes generation old or subpar internals, which has always just kind of bothered me. You know, like, why don't you offer that top of the line stuff in your products, especially if you're going to be charging the price that you are?
Here's the thing, though, and this is something that we live in this weird ecosystem right now of everybody wants the latest thing the day it comes out. Yeah. And it never works. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, I think Apple is smart sometimes, where they're like, no, it's last year's graphics card. Or not graphics card, because it's Apple, but it's last year's CPU. Because if we give you that CPU now, it won't work for 6 months while we try and figure out the BIOS, while we put out update after update after update, trying to debug and de-glitch everything. When you pick up an Apple product on the first day that you get it, it will work.
I don't know if I necessarily agree that that's across the board, though. You know, like the Surface laptop that came out, the newest one has options for like the latest like 9th generation or 10th generation cores, or like processors.
But the 9th generation or the 10th generation cores is wildly expensive.
But that's what
pricey.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like having that option for people, especially when you're charging like prices. Like if I were to compare my Surface laptop price to the MacBook price, and if we were to compare directly the specs for price, I don't think that Apple stands up quality versus price range in that specifically. But you're saying that you buy the Apple products and you are willing to pay that premium for the Apple, the convenience, and the security of it.
But I also think that you have to look at what benchmarks you're looking at. Because I'm willing to bet that Apple device that you're saying doesn't have the specs to compete with yours will render video better than yours.
Yeah, I guess it depends what you're using it for.
So I think it will come down to what is your stated purpose for the device. Because I'm willing to bet that in a benchmark that is based on video editing or those kinds of tasks, that MacBook will beat the Surface.
Yeah, I guess it definitely depends on what you're buying the device for.
You also,
like, your video editing on your Mac is obviously easier, more convenient than me doing that on my Surface, because I have to download a program that's like free and it crashes. It's not, it's definitely not as efficient.
Yeah, and I also think that you have to look at what you get for free in a Mac product. Like Windows doesn't come with anything free in it. You know what I mean? But Apple OS, you are paying a premium, but you also, and look, I know iMovie is not the greatest thing in the world. GarageBand is not the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's because it's not the top tier service. You have to pay for the top tier service, but at least I get that for free. I get a functional program for basically everything you need to do in a computer for free in an Apple product. Whereas you can buy a Surface for the exact same price, but how much are you paying in subscription costs and service costs for everything on top of that?
Yeah, that's the thing. It depends on what you're using it for.
And you're lucky if you get Windows for free. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no. If it's like a Windows computer, it comes with Windows. I mean, my desktop, I built it. So obviously it did not come with Windows, but like my Surface did. I had a Dell laptop before I had this one, and it came with Microsoft. It came with Windows. So it definitely depends on the computer and who's making it.
But if you build a computer with parts, you don't get Windows for free.
Right. So because you're not paying for Windows, you are buying
100%. I'm just putting them together. The point I'm trying to make is like when you get an Apple product, when you buy a MacBook, you can do probably smaller version, but a version of anything you might want to do on it. It comes with the software. Every single update is free. I've never paid for an Apple update as far as software. Whereas I've paid for literally, I have a Mac laptop and I have a Microsoft laptop.
Yep.
And I can't do things on my Microsoft laptop because I don't want to buy the software to do them.
Yep.
That I do on my MacBook for free.
Yep.
And it would be hundreds of dollars in software.
Yeah, depending on what it is, even just for like a video editing software,
To get anything usable onto that Razer laptop, the cost would put it way above that premium that I'm paying for Apple, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To get everything that I just get for free, I just...
Yeah. And that's the thing, is you, like, as the consumer, you have to decide what you're going to be using it for. And, what that is worth to you. Because not going to lie, if I was a video editor and I didn't want to pay $100 for a subscription, I might have been influenced to buy an Apple computer. I personally don't like the OS of it, but, I could learn if it was it was what I was using it for sure. And so, like, I completely understand that side of things. But if you are doing gaming, obviously you don't want a Mac.
No, and I think that's this is a place where I should probably acknowledge that, like, I'm extremely privileged. You know what I mean? Like, my level of privilege in the world is very high. Because we have 4 computers in the house. And it's not lost on me that I don't have to worry about the fact that my MacBook doesn't game, because I have a Nintendo Switch, a gaming laptop, and a gaming desktop computer. I have a laptop that I only use to play video games on, and that is a level of privilege. And also just, like, life choices. Like, I have spent the majority of the money that I've made in my life, I have spent on nerdy stuff and video games. Yeah. That's what I choose to spend my money on.
Yeah.
And I work very hard for my money. My parents did not, like, I didn't inherit wealth. I have a lot of student loans. And rather than pay my student loans off, I buy video games because I make healthy life choices. I buy video games that I haven't played, and
I mean, you're talking to Twitch. I think they're going to agree with you.
But I do acknowledge that, like, part of the reason why I'm able to be like, well, MacBooks are great for my workflow is because I don't have to worry about gaming. And Muddles40 is absolutely right. If you need a PC that can do photo editing and gaming, you have to go with a PC. Yeah. Mac can't game.
Yeah.
Your iPhone 12 can play League of Legends, apparently, but you can't game.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think that's definitely an important thing to acknowledge.
100%.
If you're a student who's like 19 and going to school and you like video games, and how do you spend your limited funds? And that's just going to depend on.
You know what I will say though? If you are a student who wants to do photo editing, and if you want to do videos, if you want to make content and you're a student, get the iPhone 12 Pro.
Get that iPhone.
Here's the thing. Like, get a PC laptop for gaming.
Yeah.
Get that. The Razer laptop is the Razer Blade Stealth is so good. It's truly wonderful. I think never mind. It's a great computer. I greatly enjoy it. It can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey at 45 frames per second, which doesn't sound like a lot of frames per second, but for that game on a laptop, it's mind-blowing. But get that iPhone 12 Pro. I mean, it's $1,000, and I'm saying get it on a payment plan, but I mean, Iron Claws says just main RuneScape. I can play that on my MacBook.
That's true.
I can play Neopets. I can play RuneScape.
You're good. You're set. You don't need anything else. You can play solitaire. You're fine.
You can play chess. There's a really, really awesome chess game that's built into every MacBook.
Oh my goodness. So Rebel Trooper 1 wants to know what we consider to be the biggest pro and the biggest con of Apple products.
I mean, that's going to change person by person. Because for me, the biggest pro of Apple is that the user interface is static and works. A lot of people don't like that. They want something that is a little bit more versatile and that you can have a little bit more control over. I know that's a big thing for Android phones. For me, that's what I love about Apple. I love that like my Apple experience is the same every time. And so it's tough, right? Like what the pros and cons are going to vary person by person. For me, the biggest pro, just personally, the biggest pro of Apple products is that they work right 100% of the time for what I need. And like I've been using Apple products for 10 years now, and I've not ever had a problem that wasn't my fault. Like my computer broke because I dropped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so that's my biggest pro. My biggest con would be probably just gaming. I mean, you can't game on them.
I'm the same.
You know what? No, actually, I would say my biggest con is temperatures. I think that my MacBook can get very hot. My phone can get very hot. I think that the Apple has done a really interesting job of keeping its computers at certain very, very high temperatures to boost performance out of them. But sometimes, like, there are times when I literally will, when I'm rendering video, that I put my laptop on like an ice pack because it gets so hot to export the video. What would you say? Pro and con, Apple?
Con for sure is the gaming. That's just one reason why, like, I love that I can just play Civ on my laptop. You know what I mean? Like
your lap. I can play Civ. Oh no, wait, that was my Razer. Never mind.
Your Razer, yeah, no, not your. But you know what? Like I love being able to like have that on the go, especially for something like Civ. It doesn't even require internet.
Yeah.
I can just like if I have to.
I want more games that don't require internet.
Yeah, honestly, it's so convenient. And so, you know, losing that would kind of be unfortunate. It might make me more productive, so I would have to like work on my computer. But yeah, for me, the biggest con is for sure the fact that it doesn't, you can't really game on it the way that I would like to. My biggest pro is probably just the straight up hardware. Apple makes beautiful products.
Yeah.
And like that's something that I just like cannot you can't deny it. Like their laptops are sleek, the keyboards feel nice for the most part. You know, there've been
there was that one switch that was it the rainbow switch that was really bad?
I'm not even sure. But yeah, it's just got to be the straight up hardware for me. They always feel sturdy and solid. My iPhone, I had the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 6 and 6S way back when. And you know, they did me pretty solid even when I dropped them a few times. But they were always just nice. They were pretty, nice to hold. And I'm not going to lie, like watching the video for the iPhone 12, I was like, ooh, I kind of want that. Like,
well, they nail aesthetics. You know,
yeah,
they take so much care into the visual experience of having the device.
Absolutely.
And you know, in a lot of ways, Apple created the first smartphone. Yeah, well, BlackBerry. It depends on what you think of as like a smartphone. Yeah. BlackBerry was also kind of in that same realm.
Yeah, but BlackBerry was less for aesthetics and more for security.
And for business. Like, yeah, BlackBerry was a business device.
For sure. I think Apple was the first, like, everyday man's smartphone.
And it was the first smartphone for the youth. Like, Apple was the first company to say that someone under 30 should have a smartphone. You know? But they also,
not like a businessman.
They created the iPhone 1, and we have not really changed the design of a cell phone since.
Yeah.
We have kept the shape and idea of the iPhone 1 through all Samsung devices, all Google devices. I mean, obviously there's folds and there's flexes and there's that one that flips.
Oh my goodness.
Models 40 says, remember those Nokia phones that would open up to a full keyboard? I do. They were a train wreck.
Oh, I had not the Nokia one, but I had the little one that like slid open at the side and was a full keyboard that
the Sidekick? Is that?
The one I had wasn't the Sidekick. It was the LG something or other. And yeah, it looks like a normal phone, and then you flipped it open, tilted it to the side, and it had the keyboard on it.
I mean, look, there have been a lot of gimmicks in phones. They're still making gimmicks. They have that wing now that, like, the screen turns, and then you have a screen, and then you have a little screen, which looks really cool, but looks like I would break it immediately.
Yeah, and then there's the Fold, which has, like, the big screen, and then the one on the front.
The Fold, here's the thing. There's a crease in the screen.
I know, I don't love it.
I
would not do a Fold.
You can see that they haven't gotten rid of the crease yet, and it's amazing that they have foldable screens. It's amazing. But I couldn't daily drive it. I couldn't look. The crease would drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
Trying to watch a video. Yeah. And, like, there's, like, a distortion in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
The only phone I had before the iPhone, I think my first iPhone was the iPhone 3.
Okay.
Before that, I had the Motorola Razr.
Yes! Oh my god, the Razr was so popular at my school.
I had the limited edition navy blue one.
Oh.
Because it was the only one in stock when I went. And so they were like, we have one left. And it happened to be the blue one that everyone wanted for like a year.
Wow.
And I still have that phone in my storage unit. I love that phone so much.
That's so funny. For my school, it was like everyone had like the Razr or the like keyboard one, or like I think it was the LG chocolate or something.
Cappy Archer had the LG chocolate.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that one was very popular.
Can you imagine going back to a non-smartphone?
No, that would be awful.
Right?
I can't pull up Google Maps.
Well, and the majority of my communication doesn't happen in traditional texting anymore.
Yeah, it's like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp Discord or yeah.
Or Instagram. Honestly, I message a lot of people on Instagram messages. I don't know why. I love the interface for Instagram messages is really solid.
Yeah.
And it's funny. There's a lot of my friends whose names I don't remember.
But you remember their Instagram handles.
But I remember their Instagram handles.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I have to like look up their Instagram to remember their first name, because it's just weird. Yeah.
No, I get that.
The Hero of Wind says line in Japan nobody texts. True. Like in Japan, literally nobody uses anything other than line.
I've never heard of it.
Line is it's basically WhatsApp or WeChat. It's the same kind of idea. There's like these cute little anime stickers and stuff in it. It's a really great app, honestly.
So it's got those Bitmojis?
No, it's its own. It's got its own ecosystem of emojis and stuff in it.
Wow.
And Line is huge. Line opened a Line store in Times Square to promote its own product.
Wow.
And because they wanted Line in America, and it didn't really take off, but McKinley Wings asked, didn't Insta and Facebook Messenger just merge?
They did.
It's complicated.
You don't have to do it.
They made it so that in Facebook Messenger, you can receive notifications if you get messages in Instagram, and you can like respond to them in Facebook Messenger, but they're not the same thing. Like they're still separate conversations. They don't merge your conversations with someone, but you can access both conversations from your Facebook Messenger app.
And you don't have to do it. I tried it for like 5 seconds, and then I was like, nope, I don't like that.
It's uncomfortable to look at, in my opinion. Just because my brain can't.
I'm not a fan.
Rebel Trooper 1 says, in Brazil, it's WhatsApp that dominates everything. Or he says domains, but I think he means dominates. And I agree with that. I think actually WhatsApp is my favorite of the apps, of the texting apps.
Yeah.
I use WhatsApp a lot. When we were on the ship, we used WhatsApp for almost everything.
Yep.
And all of our group conversations with our castmates were in WhatsApp. When we want to send each other photos, we send them in WhatsApp because they don't get compressed.
The quality is much higher.
Like other texting apps do.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, it is 10:59. We have one more minute. Y'all, we did a third morning show.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that we would actually get to 3?
What do you mean? I thought. Okay. All right.
McKinley Wings has to go to a conference meeting. Good luck. Crush the conference, get promoted, make all the dang money. Mello the Bard says, we're getting better every time. Thank you, Mello. We appreciate that. We love doing this.
Yeah, it's really fun, actually. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to have to get up in the morning. But I don't know. I'm kind of into it.
It's been giving us a routine, which is really nice. And yeah, it's been great. Just before we get off here, I just want to say again how grateful we are to our patrons over at Nerdy Nightly, or patreon.com/Nerdy Nightly. You make this possible. You are the best. And we're just so grateful to have your support. We're also so grateful for all the support here on Twitch. From our subscribers and those of you who have been tipping and bidding, all the things that people do on here. It's
all the things.
We can't believe it. Honestly, sometimes you guys, it's so much kindness, and we're just so grateful to you all.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think that was a great way to wrap it up. You know, we're so grateful for you guys. You make this possible, and we love doing it, and we hope that we're able to continue doing it. Yeah. Yeah. So we're back. We're doing Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, this week and next week. We might have a special guest next week. A little teaser for that.
Yeah.
And
if I can ask for one last thing, one last bit of support from you all. If you have a bit of time today and you have an iPhone, if you could go into the podcasts app, subscribe to this podcast. And if you don't have to subscribe though. The thing I would love for you to do is just rate us 5 stars and leave us a short review about. You can say you hate it. You can the review can be anything.
Say whatever you want. Just give 5 stars.
But if you give us a 5-star review on that podcast app, it would really, really help us. It's the best way for our show to grow on that ecosystem. And our podcast downloads have been going up, and we would like to see that keep happening. No worries if you don't have an iPhone. It's not the end of the world. It's just, it really helps us to get that rating up. Yeah. Someone gave us a 1-star review, which made me sad. So...
so we're trying to bump those numbers up.
But they didn't leave a review. They just rated 1 star. And I'm like, if you're going to rate 1 star, at least tell me what I did wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, y'all, it is now 11:01. It has been an hour. We need to go. We have a day ahead of us.
Yep, I'll be streaming at Claris Dracarys at, I believe, 3 Eastern today. We're going to be doing some more Subnautica. So I'll see you guys then.
And I will be on Friday.
Yeah.
Streaming on here, playing some games. And we will be here Thursday morning and Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern this week to keep doing more of this. Tomorrow we're going to be watching that Love and Monsters trailer and deciding whether or not you should pay to watch it. Not deciding whether or not we're going to recommend for you to pay to watch it is a better way to put that. As we always say, my name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.